Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on WellnessKE. My name is Fatma. Today we're going to talk about a very sensitive topic, which is miscarriage. And also we're going to understand a very important hormone that could potentially play a role in preventing a miscarriage. So keep watching. So now I would like for us to talk about some of the risk factors that might actually make a woman more susceptible to going through a miscarriage. This part is really, really important. Number one is lifestyle. So a woman who is smoking, drinking alcohol, using illicit drugs or hard drugs, these are all risk factors that could potentially lead to a miscarriage. So it's very important for a woman to actually stop these habits if she plans to start a family. Age is also another risk factor because women over the age of 40 actually have a higher percentage of undergoing a miscarriage or going through a miscarriage. Obviously, it doesn't mean that every woman who is over the age of 40 is going to experience a miscarriage. We know of women who have actually carried their baby full term, a healthy pregnancy, or more than one baby. But of course, everybody is different, every woman is different, so it's important for you to know that age is actually considered one of the risk factors. Another risk factor could be if a woman has actually undergone a miscarriage. So as I mentioned, women who have actually undergone a miscarriage stand a higher chance of actually undergoing another miscarriage. So when you're visiting your doctor, they're going to ask you these questions. If you've ever undergone a miscarriage, then they're going to be very careful in terms of how they care for you because they know that you already have had a miscarriage prior to your second pregnancy or your third pregnancy, whatever the case. So this is another risk factor. Another one happens to be a woman who is obese or overweight. And I always like to mention that it's important for you to know what a healthy weight is for you. You check your height and your weight and you calculate your body mass index. If you don't know what that is, it's okay. Just go on Google, just type and find the information so that you can be able to know. If you're thinking of starting a family, becoming pregnant, or if you are pregnant, it's very important that you check your weight because if you are overweight, then this could actually make you more susceptible to having a miscarriage. Something else that counters that is being underweight. If a woman is underweight, it's also a risk factor for miscarriage. So again, the same way you would check whether you are overweight, you should also check if you are underweight. If you are malnourished and you are not eating properly, or if, for some reason you have actually undergone serious weight loss or drastic weight loss, then that means if you are pregnant or you plan to become pregnant, then this could be a potential risk factor for you to have a miscarriage. Your doctor is obviously going to advise you to actually maintain a healthy weight during your entire pregnancy journey. So it's important for you to make sure that you check your weight. Any health complications, as we had mentioned, would actually potentially put you at risk for a miscarriage, some certain types of health complications. So make sure that you communicate that with your doctor, whether if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, if you have lupus, if you have any type of autoimmune disease, if you have HIV, if you have conditions like an STD, like gonorrhea or syphilis, these health complications actually do put you at risk. So make sure that you get to communicate that with your doctor. And lastly, let's talk about caffeine, because women who actually take a lot of caffeine every day actually stand a higher chance of having a miscarriage. So obviously it doesn't mean that it's all women, but if this has been mentioned as a risk factor and you are a woman that actually wants to have a healthy pregnancy, this might be the time for you to maybe take a step back and find other substitutes when it comes to your beverage choice in the morning or in the evening. So high amounts of caffeine in your system are not, it's just not advisable if you are pregnant or if you plan to become pregnant. So make sure that you watch out for caffeine. So these are some of the risk factors that could put a woman at risk of a miscarriage. Now, I'd like for us to talk about a very important hormone known as progesterone that's actually very vital in ensuring that a woman carries a full-term pregnancy. So let's talk about progesterone. Progesterone is actually a sex hormone that is produced by the ovaries. It's also produced by the adrenal glands, and it is also produced by the placenta during pregnancy. But progesterone is a very, very important hormone when it comes to pregnancy and fertility. It's actually known as the pregnancy hormone, and there is a reason. The word progesterone actually means progestation, meaning it is for gestation, and gestation or gestation, however you choose to pronounce it, happens to be the period between a woman has actually gone through conception and birth. So between conception and birth, you actually have the gestational period. So progesterone as a hormone is actually pro-gestation because it helps in making sure that a woman actually gets to become pregnant, maintain a healthy full-term pregnancy. So that's why this hormone is very important for us to look into. And progesterone as a hormone, as I mentioned, is produced in the ovaries, and it's also produced in the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are found at the top of your kidneys, so they do produce progesterone for you. And also, when a woman is pregnant, the placenta actually takes over and starts producing progesterone to ensure that you actually get to have a healthy full-term pregnancy. And this happens between 8 to 10 weeks of the pregnancy. And the placenta actually produces enough progesterone to last the fetus and the development of the baby all the way until the baby is born. So it's very important for a woman to have correct levels of progesterone in her body. But here's the thing, I wanted for you to understand why progesterone is actually very important when it comes to pregnancy. And in order for us to understand that, we need to actually understand the process of ovulation. So a woman actually gets to go through this process known as ovulation, and this is where your ovaries actually get to produce an egg, and this egg needs to be fertilized by the sperm. So the egg moves from the ovaries, travels through the fallopian tubes, hoping to be fertilized by the sperm. And when the egg leaves the ovary so that it can be fertilized, it leaves behind a certain cyst or tissue that is known as the corpus luteum. And the corpus luteum has a very, very important function. It is to prompt the production of progesterone. And progesterone is needed because the moment the egg is fertilized, what happens is that it now has become an embryo, and it's going to travel to the uterus and go to the lining. So why is progesterone really important? It's because the moment progesterone is produced, what happens is that the endometrial lining, or the walls of the uterus, actually end up becoming thick. And the reason we need for the endometrial lining to be thick is because once the egg has been fertilized by the sperm and has become an embryo, it actually needs to travel to the uterus and go to the wall, the endometrial lining, so that it can attach itself there. If the wall is not thick enough, that means this embryo is going to slip and almost just fall off. But then if it is thick enough, then the embryo can be able to attach itself onto the wall. And once it has attached itself, that means you actually have the onset of a pregnancy, and you can actually see it develop, and the progesterone keeps on being produced so that it can ensure that there's a healthy environment for the development of the embryo into a fetus, and then into a full-term, pregnancy, a baby. So it's really important for progesterone to be produced in the body, because it actually is going to help in the thickening of the endometrial lining, or the wall, so that this fertilized egg can actually attach itself there and not fall off. So remember when I mentioned that the placenta actually also produces progesterone. So really, once this egg is attached, it stays there for a while, and progesterone keeps on being produced. When a woman is pregnant, she actually gets to produce a certain type of hormone also, known as human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, HCG. And this HCG hormone is actually really important during pregnancy, because it keeps prompting the body to produce more progesterone. So it's like it keeps on reminding the body, we need to keep on producing more progesterone so that a woman doesn't go through any type of menstruation or anything breaking down of tissues. So this HCG hormone also is released so that there can be more progesterone being produced. Remember, The egg is already fertilized, it's attached to the wall, and now we are continuing with the process of pregnancy. Once it gets to about 8 to 10 weeks, what happens is the placenta now takes over. It actually now starts producing progesterone for a woman throughout the pregnancy. It also helps in creating, this progesterone helps in creating a really conducive environment for the baby to develop. So progesterone is actually a very, very important hormone when it comes to pregnancy and fertility. Something that's really important for you to know is that when a woman is going through IVF, normally the medication that is used throughout IVF unfortunately suppresses the production of natural progesterone in your body. That's why women who are going through IVF actually have to be given progesterone in the form of supplements. So it could be pills, it could be a gel, it could be done vaginally. So this is something that, you know, women who are going through IVF need to know, is that their progesterone levels actually naturally are going to be much lower, so they would have to supplement. But for a woman who is not going through IVF and is already pregnant in a natural way, then, you know, it's important for you to know your levels of progesterone. Even before you become pregnant, it's also really important for you to know your progesterone levels. And you can do this by actually checking your blood test. You know, you can actually have a blood test that's going to be able to check your progesterone levels. In other countries, women can actually check their progesterone levels at home, because there are kits that are actually used to check the progesterone levels from home. I haven't heard of such here in Kenya, but then if there's you know, there's that option, then I'll make sure that I let you guys know for you to be able to check your hormonal levels from home. But if they're not any, then that just means that you get to go and visit your doctor, let them know. Obviously, they're going to suggest that you do a hormone test so that you can know the level of hormones. And that way you'll know your level of progesterone. So here at WellnessKE, we always advocate for natural ways for you to boost your hormonal levels. So I'd really like for us to focus on natural ways that we can be able to boost progesterone levels. So diet and nutrition actually happen to be one of the best ways for you to boost your progesterone levels. And foods such as beans and broccoli and cauliflower and spinach are actually really rich in they're actually going to help you in boosting your progesterone levels. Something else that's actually very important is nuts and seeds. So you need to actually boost your progesterone levels by eating more sunflower seeds and sesame seeds and pumpkin seeds, chia seeds. All these foods, these seeds and nuts are actually going to be really helpful in making sure that you actually are healthy enough for your pregnancy. And I'd like to remind you that at WellnessKE, we actually have a 30-day nutrition plan that can help you in making sure that you know what foods are proper and the best way for you to actually eat for a healthy pregnancy, and also to prepare you in making sure that your body is healthy enough for a pregnancy. Also, for you to learn ways to balance your hormones, and also to learn ways for you to eat healthy for life. And remember, at WellnessKE, we also have natural and organic seeds and nuts that can actually help you throughout the process. We have chia seeds, we have pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, we have sesame seeds and sunflower seeds, all at affordable prices for you to be able to start using from home and add on to your diet. They're very simple and easy for you to add on to your diet. That way you can be able to boost your progesterone levels. You can also be able to make sure that your body is healthy enough, and if you are pregnant, you can be able to supply your body with enough vitamin E, with zinc, and all these amazing minerals and vitamins that you need in order for you to have a healthy full-term pregnancy. So I hope you found this video helpful. I just wanted to advise you that if you are pregnant, it's very important for you to actually do certain things to make sure that you improve your health in making sure that you can actually carry a healthy full-term pregnancy. You can actually check your weight, making sure that you are a healthy weight. Start by doing some light exercises. It could be a walk, it could be dancing, anything that you feel is going to be helpful but light enough to help you in managing your weight. Also, change your diet. Diet and nutrition plays a really big role when it comes to pregnancy. So make sure that you eat foods that are rich in, vitamins and minerals that are going to help you. Make sure that you eat good quality foods. Also, if you do have some type of health complications, make sure that when you're going for hospital visits, you relay that to your doctor so that they can help you with that. manage your stress. Make sure that you also are trying your best to just improve your the quality of sleep that you have. Rest enough. Don't do any strenuous activities. This is a time for you to actually take care of yourself and to take care of your health, because remember, when you take care of yourself, then you're actually going to be taking care of your unborn child. So it's really important that you get to follow some of these steps so that you can have a healthy pregnancy. As always, I like to encourage you to ask questions and let us know if you found this video helpful. Make sure that you hit that like button so that YouTube can be able to suggest this video to more women. That way they can be able to benefit from this information. And don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll know every time we post a new video. Don't forget to reach out to us on all our social media platforms, from Instagram to Twitter to Facebook, and we'll leave the links down below. That way you'll know how you can be able to reach out to us. And all our WellnessKE products, our wellness products, are actually natural, and they're going to help you in making sure that you maintain a healthy lifestyle. I remind you that the shipping is free. And the delivery company actually started international shipping. So that means wherever you are, we can be able to ensure that we send the products to you, and you can be able to start your wellness journey with us. As always, thank you so much for watching WellnessKE. Thank you for sharing your comments. Thank you for telling me about your transformations and how healthy you've become. I always am encouraged every time I receive your messages, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.